I wish people could see what I see when I stand on a stage. If you've ever had 4,000 people send you laughter in 20 countries in the world, you'll realize what a privilege that is. Then Arjun 567 underscore crazy dude saying that you are a moron on Twitter, all of a sudden becomes very worth it. My sense of self-respect is pretty secure. I will not feel disrespected by something disrespectful.
I don't think people gave me that much importance until 3 to 4 years ago. So it didn't bother me. But I have to admit, I've received just a lot of love and respect. Really, I mean, very, very rarely do I get a negative comment. If you're feeling uncomfortable about something you can't deal with, you seek professional help. Right. I've done that. Yeah. And it's really helped me.
I have 2 therapists. So one therapist I pay, and the other therapist
Pays you.
me.
Hi, welcome to the Quint, and thank you so much for talking to me. Firstly, big congratulations to both of you on your Emmy nominations.
Thank you.
When you guys started off, and as you sit here today, did you ever think you guys would be Emmy nominees?
No, not me.
Was it ever on your list that
Of course it was.
Huh.
But I think for the last 3-4 years it was. Before that, I didn't even imagine in my wildest dreams that I deserved to be up there or anything such.
Right. What about you, Vir?
Every day in the shower. No. No. I think for me, it's all the more unexpected because I'm not even a category that officially exists in the Emmys. You know?
How cool is that?
That's very cool,
It's a comedy special against a fiction show with, you know.
That's very cool.
So for me, it was completely out of the blue, because I didn't expect to be submitted, leave alone nominated.
And twice around.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
touch wood. Some 40,000 things must be getting submitted from across the world.
Yeah.
So to be in a category which shows that you know for a fact one episode of their budget could pay for 3 of my specials, you know, to be made, that's insane.
What was your reaction when you heard about your Emmy nomination?
So it's a very weird manifestation thing. My co-producer on my last special, his name is Akash. And Akash started as my EA and then became my head of live production, and we've kind of grown together. And he was nominated as a co-producer for the last Emmy. So we both went salad खा के आगे बात लेकिन अच्छा था, chocolate खरीदा CVS में, etc. Right? I was walking in the house, just exercising, and on Akash's desk I saw his Emmy medal and his certificate from the last time. मैम medal मिलेगा, कुछ salad और medal तो ले गए हैं, ठीक है? And I was like, अरे ये बड़ा अच्छा है यार, आपने frame कराया नहीं से, कहाँ सर motivation के लिए? So I'm like, मेरा भी कराया यार. So he's like, आप लेके आइए. So I went to the cupboard and I got my Emmy medal, and I walked back, I put it on Akash's desk. I walked out of the room and I was tagged in a nomination.
Oh my God.
The medal was in my hand.
I'm getting goosebumps.
From two years ago.
Oh my God.
So you know how idiot men think, like, you know, if I put the remote down, India will lose the cricket match. So I think I've done something like that.
You're going to win.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a sign.
From my perspective, I'm a comedian. I get to speak my mind, act, direct, and I still have an audience. Like, that's the win. You know what I mean? This is Makhan.
You know, talking about speaking your mind, you are one of the few people who still goes out there, gives your opinion. I know we live in an environment where everything's scrutinized. There's so much pushback. The internet is not the nicest place to be in right now. What really pushes you to go on and do this in spite of so much pushback?
When you look at it from a third-party perspective, it feels like pushback. But I always say I wish people could see what I see when I stand on a stage. If you've ever had 4,000 people send you laughter in 20 countries in the world, you'll realize what a privilege that is and how any amount of pushback is worth that. You know, when you see in people's faces that, we bought these tickets 4 months in advance and we got a babysitter and then we Ubered and we both dressed up and we came out and we haven't been in a room with this many Indians in 3 years' time and you are taking us home, then Arjun 567 underscore crazy dude saying that you are a moron on Twitter, all of a sudden becomes very worth it. And also, as you grow a little bit as an artist, if I'm going to take the freedom that I'm allowed to speak my mind about any issue, I have to grant that freedom to my audience with the same level of respect. So I have to be informed by their feedback a little bit.
But doesn't it kind of irk you if that feedback isn't respectful?
My sense of self-respect is pretty secure. I will not feel disrespected by something disrespectful.
You know, I want to ask the two of you, how different and how difficult is it to be an artist, an honest artist who can really always put themselves out there as raw and as honestly as they really are.
As opposed to actors,
Yeah.
right? Because acting is a very collaborative art form.
Yes.
It really is. And so for an actor to put themselves out there, I always find is a tougher thing. There are 17 middlemen between an actor and their audience.
Yeah.
You know, my audience shows up on a Friday and there's nobody between me and my audience. India's a very big joint family, you know, and you're all having dinner together at the same time. अब किसी को भिंडी पसंद नहीं आया, किसी को चना अच्छा लगा, etc., etc. So if you try and second guess what people will like or not like, you'll go absolutely insane.
Right.
So do you write with a moral compass that is secure? And is your moral compass showcased well on stage? If those two things you can just manage, na, ki, okay, I wrote this because I love my country, or I wrote this because I want to bring you joy tonight. If those two things can just come through, largely you'll be okay.
I don't think people gave me that much importance until 3 to 4 years ago. So it didn't bother me. But I have to admit, I've received just a lot of love and respect.
You have, yes.
Really, I mean, very, very rarely do I get a negative comment. I completely respect that people have their point of view and it's their prerogative to like, not like, etc. But you don't need to be mean about it.
Yeah.
But I'm really not complaining because I just get a lot of love and respect.
Yeah, that you do.
And
We've
I
seen.
somehow, I feel they believe in me much more than I believe in myself.
Yeah.
So which is really amazing.
Yeah, I will really second that because every time I put an interview out with you, the kind of love I get, you know, through you is amazing.
I'm about to light up your comment section, don't worry.
Thank you.
You're going to get all sorts of comments on this.
Recently in an international publication, there is a lot of chatter about creative liberties that stand-up comics take, right? As an artist yourself and as a stand-up comic, how do you kind of make sure that you're striking the right balance when it comes to taking creative liberties and staying true to reality?
You have to let the audience be your teacher. All a comedian needs is the audacity of imperfection. You know, is to say, please allow me to be imperfect for 4 months as I develop these jokes. Allow me to learn from you. You slap me around as an audience. And by that time, it should be a perfectish show that works across the world. I can't care about what the line is. You tell me where the line is. And I'll walk up to it. It's my job to walk up to it. But you will change the line every 5 minutes. That's the thing about audiences, right? You decide where the line goes. And I'll go back and I'll rewrite. Because a great artist rewrites. They don't write. And then, yes, when I'm playing Carnegie Hall and all, it better be damn good. But if I'm playing the Habitat Center Club or something like that, like, you know, a Netflix special. By the time I put it on Netflix, it's 180 shows old.
Wow.
So Vidas Landing, the show that we filmed for Netflix was the 160th show. So by that time, I hate the jokes. You know what I mean? Like I'm mentally done with this show and I'm just trying to direct it at that point and put it out.
Right.
But the audacity of imperfection.
You know, recently, because of the unfortunate passing of Matthew Perry, there's a lot of chatter about mental health. And of course, he was somebody who spoke a lot about it. Then, of course, back home right here, there are a lot of actors who've been talking about it. You also put out a tweet talking about ghosts in a room and, you know, standing on a stage as a comic. As actors, I'm sure there have been days where you kind of feel depleted mentally, right? But because you're performers and there is a shoot or there's a show, you can't call in sick. You got to show up. How do you kind of navigate through that?
I'm glad there is a conversation happening about it. I mean, some time ago, it was considered as, matlab, kya problem kya hai?
Yeah.
You know?
Snap out of it.
Yeah, and I feel that if you have a skin allergy, you go to a dermat, right? So if you're feeling uncomfortable about something you can't deal with, you seek professional help.
Right.
I've done that.
Yeah.
And it's really helped me. I sometimes wish I knew the skill of acting. I don't know how to act, but it comes out of instinct and gut.
Okay.
I become the person, I feel like the person. So I really worry the day I'm not feeling, I don't have a backup. I don't have a skill to go back to and say, okay, this is a skill, I can use it. I can't do it if I'm not feeling it. So the day I don't feel it, I really don't know how I'm going to manage that.
I'm very fortunate in that. I have 2 therapists. So one therapist I pay. And the other therapist pays
you.
me. Right? So there's 2 kinds of not feeling it, right? Physical not feeling it.
Yeah.
And in that moment, putting your audience on a pedestal really helps. So if you can remind yourself, okay, these people got Ubers, they got babysitters, these tickets are very expensive. There are college kids who have saved to get better tickets than they did last year, etc., etc. that will give you adrenaline for sure. But if I'm having a shit day, I will go up and tell my audience I'm having a shit day. I'll make sure I'm funny about it. Every time my wife has a fight, and sort of the fight is this thing, my wife will walk out of the room, realize, walk back in, and she's like, if you talk about this in the show tonight, I will kill you. And I talk about it every night to my audience. So that's also par for the course of anybody who wants to marry a comedian. Firstly, don't. And secondly, there's no personal business ever. It's just public.
And good luck for the Emmys, guys. Thank you so much for entertaining us, and good luck for everything you're setting out to do. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.